While U.S. President Barack Obama was delivering the message of a change to the Americans, Bolivia's first indigenous president, Evo Morales, promoted yes among the people for the recent referendum in the country. And with yes, Bolivia passed Morales' new constitution on January 25th, which would grant more power to its indigenous peoples and allows the president to run for re-election later this year. It was said that the vote has the highest participation over the past 20 years.
Aquí no hay ningún empate, hay un solo ganador. El ganador es la nueva Constitución Política del Estado Boliviano.
While U.S. President Barack Obama was delivering change to the Americans, Bolivia's first indigenous president, Evo Morales, promoted yes to the people for the recent referendum in Bolivia. On January 25th, the polls closed across the country for the constitutional referendum vote. Exit polls show that the new constitution promoted by Evo Morales was approved with around 60% support. The National Electoral Commission said it was a vote with the highest participation for the past 20 years.
It has been an election with high participation. Our impression, after taking a look at the statistics, is that this has been the vote with the greatest participation in the 20 years of electoral democracy. The people have practiced democracy through their vote over a fundamental issue for the country.
Between 55% and 60% of the population is indigenous in the landlocked country of about 9.2 million. The new constitution would give the country's poor indigenous majority more power. Aymara, Quechua, Guarani, and other indigenous groups who suffer centuries of discrimination in South America's poorest country largely back the new constitution.
I think that the change that is being made is very important. Yes has won, and I think that Bolivia will be improving after so many years of struggle. Yes will change Bolivia.
This new constitution has to change the country. Yes to Evo, who needs to implement it. With approval of the new constitution, indigenous groups will now be given greater representation in Congress and more power in the legal system. Government officials in some cases will have to be able to speak an indigenous language. Indian spiritual practices will be protected, and indigenous communities will be allowed to sentence criminals using pre-Columbia traditions.
Aquí terminó el estado colonial. Aquí se acabó el colonialismo interno y el colonialismo externo. Hermanas y hermanos, aquí también terminado el neoliberalismo.
Morales has said Bolivia will need to pass about 100 laws to implement most of the reforms laid out in the Constitution, including the rules for the election of Supreme Court judges in the popular vote. The original draft of the Constitution was more radical, but Morales made concessions after violent protests against his rule last year, including a promise that he would not try to win a third term in 2014. Morales planned to mount a run for a 5-year term in December this year to carry out his socialist agenda. For now, he is the favorite to win, as conservatives lack a strong candidate and are internally divided. TITV Weekly.